Hello everyone, this is Steve with the Free Bullion Investment Guide. Today is April 18th. I'm doing a review and outlook price analysis video for silver and gold. We're on the 4-hour chart right now, and it's been 2 weeks since I posted a video. In the last video that I posted, I showed you these inverse head and shoulders patterns. One thing about the videos that I did 2 weeks ago is I showed you that the candlestick inverse head and shoulders had already been completed. An inverse head and shoulders is a positive pattern. As you can see, the neckline here was broken to the upside. And what I had pointed out to you was that in the RSI of, I think this is silver, or no, this is gold, excuse me. In the RSI on the 4-hour chart, it hadn't been completed, but it did complete, and it did confirm the pattern. In the MACD, it didn't. And in silver's price chart, it did basically the same thing. It confirmed it to the upside as the price moved higher. I wasn't quite sure. I was saying in the last video that if the MACD's inverse head and shoulder would have been confirmed, basically, if the neckline would have been broken to the upside, we would have been seeing prices above $16.50 in the $17 range. Clearly that didn't happen. So I'm going to delete those patterns now from the price charts. That's silver, this is gold, and oh shoot. There we go. I wanted to quickly go over the way the price moved in the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, it was around the beginning of April, was when we had done the consolidation area. Basically, we had seen in the price of gold a bull flag that was confirmed. You could say the same for silver. It just wasn't as pronounced, or wasn't as big as it was in gold, I guess you could say. And then the price moved higher. We continue to see smaller bull flags, as you can see, as the price moves up. And you can also see that these price levels, at least in the silver price chart, 1390 held up, and then the price moved up. 1430 stood as support, good support for the price of silver, and then it moved up. It had a little bit of trouble breaking up above 1555. It did, but then it broke back down below it. And I do expect it to break back above it. I will get into the outlook here in a moment. And for gold, like I was saying, we had a bull flag there. We got another one here. We have one in the making as we're talking right now. But I think what I want to do for the outlook is mostly move to the daily chart. Let me so that you can see what gold did over the last 2 weeks. Here it was in the beginning of April. We had a bull flag. It moved higher. It broke above the 1640 level. Then we had a bull flag. It stayed above it, confirmed the level multiple times before it broke up above it, and confirmed the 1670 level a few times before it broke again above the 1705 level. Then, as you can see, the 1705 level held until more profit takers came in, and the price dropped a bit. Now, again, I do see this as another bull flag. There's no specific reason why it's in purple. It's just the color that my trend lines seem to be on right now. So really, that's what I expect to see here. But what the daily chart is showing, if I can move to that real quick. We're on the silver price chart right now. What the daily chart is showing is that we're getting in a little bit of oversold territory on the MACD and the RSI for silver and for gold. We have seen good price movement. It has moved higher. We should see some kind of pullback sometime early next week, or again, early next week, and then we should continue to see the price move higher. There's really nothing holding down silver and gold right now, except for the fact that supply is on hold right now. A lot of mines have cut their output, and also the fact that everybody's in quarantine, and the fact that, quite honestly, a lot of people are broke. So as far as the retail side of things, you have dealers that are having issues with inventory. Also, the U.S. Mint has halted production of bullion. As far as they've halted production at the West Point Mint. I know I have posted news articles on my investment guide about it, and the news is always posted daily except on Saturdays on the front page. So I try to stay up to date on the most recent news. So anyways, so that's the biggest thing holding down, I think, the price of gold right now is supply. Demand is there. Demand, everybody wants it. Everybody wants gold and silver for that matter. It's just the fact that supply is really bottlenecked right now. And until this whole coronavirus thing gets behind us, I think we're going to have problems with supply for the foreseeable future. I don't know when it will correct itself, but I do anticipate prices to go higher. And right now, as far as silver goes, these are sale prices. I mean, if you can find silver, closest to its spot price, you're getting a deal, if you ask me. Whether it's junk silver, whether it's the raw bars, it could be the most generic raw bar of silver that you can find. I wouldn't get too picky right now, personally, but and they're out there. You just got to lower your standards a little bit. Silver right now, and it'll go higher. It's going to go higher. There's way too much liquidity. There's an awesome. It's unfathomable how much liquidity is out there in the market right now as far as U.S. dollars and around the world, quite honestly. People are out of work, and this is just a situation that nobody foresaw, because, quite honestly, the Chinese made it out to be less of a factor than what it was. Now, I know I was producing videos back at the end of January, and I was showing you news articles from the Strait Times where the streets in Wuhan and around China were just empty. So to me, it was like, something's wrong here. They don't act like this for no reason at all. And they were all putting it down, saying that it's not that big of a deal, and so on. So the fact is that we're going to have supply issues with silver and gold, for that matter, for a while. But I do anticipate higher prices. And right now we are, $15 for an ounce of silver right now is as low as we've been for most of the last, since 2013, 7 years. So these are bargain prices, if you ask me. And when supply gets back into, when supply and also industrial demand get back into normal market activity, then we should see the price of silver move higher, much above these levels. How much? I don't put price horizons up. I just put resistance and support lines in. And to end this video, I will show you the resistance and support lines. So for silver, we're on the weekly chart now. For silver, as I said, I expect some kind of pullback in the beginning of next week before we continue to move higher. For resistance levels, we have 1555, 1650, and 1765. For gold, we have the The 1705 level is resistance right now. I mean, we'll see how long that holds out. As I said, we're on the weekly chart. Let me move to the daily. The daily chart here, this level above here is, I think, 1750 is above. Yeah, 1750 is the resistance level that we'll need to break after we break 1705. And as far as pullbacks go, I'd be surprised if we fall back below 1670 for the price of gold. For silver, 1430, it's doubtful in my eyes that we will come back down to see these levels. And one last thing I wanted to show you was the gold to silver ratio. This is it right here. Let me move to the weekly chart. I've showed this in previous videos. You can see that I have the 80 level pointed out here. 80 has been the top in since, let me see here, what's this, 2003, 2002. The the 80 point ratio between gold and silver has always been the top before we saw the price of silver skyrocket higher in the or I wouldn't say skyrocket, but at least move higher to even out the ratio more to its regular level, which is around 50-60. And what the ratio is how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold. So 80 is the extreme, and right now 110 is the very extreme. These numbers haven't, these kind of ratios haven't been seen ever between gold and silver. And it's bound to, the price of silver is bound to start to catch up to the price of gold, meaning it should start to come back down to the 80 level sometime soon, which would mean that the price of silver is definitely going to be going higher sometime in the future. Again, supply is a major issue right now, and the largest country that supplies most of the silver, or at least one of the largest silver suppliers in the world, is Mexico. And Mexico's coronavirus issues have just really begun. They have one problem with Mexico is they have a huge issue with diabetes and overweight, obesity. And that is a huge issue with the coronavirus. It's an underlying issue that often proves to be deadly, unfortunately, with this coronavirus. And I do know that a lot of mines in Mexico have started to cut back their production. So that will also hit the silver market. So anyways, that's it for this week's review and outlook for gold and silver. Just gold and silver, I expect to draw back in price in the beginning of the week before we continue higher. So I thank you for your time. Stay healthy, stay safe, take care, and God bless.